Hey everybody, Dan Bressler from the Autism Resource Center at Options and Advocacy for McHenry County, coming to you with another tutorial today. And today I wanted to start talking about one of the most basic ideas in reinforcement, and that is Premacks Principle. So it's all about alternating choices to increase success in work tasks. So let's get into it here. So what is Premack? It's one framework for thinking about reinforcing work tasks. And sometimes it's called grandma's rule for short, because it goes back to that idea that you need to eat your vegetables if you want to have dessert, right? So what Premack's Principle says is that an unpreferred task is more likely to be completed if a preferred task is contingent on the unpreferred task. So you're more likely to do something that you don't want to do if you know that you're going to get to do something that you do like to do afterwards. It's all about alternating work tasks with choice tasks or work tasks with fun tasks. And although it's a really basic reinforcement principle, it can be scaled to the skill level of the child. So for really early learners, or folks who have a really hard time following through with unpreferred tasks, it might be one-to-one, where I say, we're going to do one math problem, and then we're going to have one choice. So, or maybe we're going to work for 2 minutes, and then we're going to play for 2 minutes, and we'll go back and forth and back and forth. And in that way, it can be a really basic reinforcement principle, or it can be scaled all the way up to, we're going to do 2 math problems and 1 choice activity, and 2 math problems and 1 choice activity, or 3-to-1, or 4-to-1, and on it can go. And as we start getting up into those more complex levels where we're doing 5 work tasks before we get 1 choice task, then we start talking about more complex reinforcement systems like token economies and things like that. We're not going to get into all that today. That's for a future video. So a really common way to communicate this Premack setup, this Premack arrangement, is using first-then language. So we'll say, first 3 math problems, then you can have a snack. And this is even more powerful for our friends with autism when it's paired with some sort of visual representation. A lot of times that visual aspect of learning can be really, really powerful. So I wanted to show you a couple examples of those, give you a couple ideas that maybe you can incorporate into your home environment. So this is a first then with visuals. This can be really helpful for some of our friends who don't have really strong reading skills. A lot of times having pictures or icons can really help. And so this can be set up with Velcro or tape or however you're able to do it at home, where maybe we'll pick up seat work, or we can make whatever is relevant for your experience. Sometimes it might be do the dishes, load the dishwasher, or set the table, or clean up your room. And then in the then spot, we'll put whatever that preferred activity is. Maybe we'll make a choice board of all the things that the child really likes to do, and they can pick what goes in then. So it's really clear that in that first box, parent picks, teacher picks, adult picks what goes there, but then the child has control over what they earn for following through with that task. So that's one way that we can set up a visual representation of a Premack principle. Here's another one, and this one's even more basic. A lot of times I might do this with a whiteboard. You could do it with a laminated piece of paper, or you can do it on just a regular piece of copy paper or notebook paper, particularly if the child is a strong reader, or if you're a very strong illustrator, I guess. I'm not, so that doesn't come right to mind for me. So here we would just write what we're going to do. So I might write first 3 math problems, then play. So on a piece of notebook paper, I might write the word first, then I'll write the word then. I'm sorry, you can't see this as I do it. Draw a couple lines. And I might say first math problems, and I might say we're going to do 1, 2, 3 math problems, and then we can say maybe it's iPad. And if I'm feeling really creative, I might try to draw a picture of an iPad. So then, let's see if I can get you to see this. We've got first math problems, and I wrote 1, 2, 3. We can put checks in those boxes as we complete them. That's almost like a mini token system so that they can see their progress as they go. And then they earn the iPad. So it doesn't need to be complicated. It doesn't need to be a thing that you need a lot of supplies to use. And this is really the starting point for a lot of future reinforcement systems. So if you feel like you're ready to start implementing some structured reinforcement, this is really where I would recommend that you start at least thinking about it. Hopefully we'll have some future videos on token economies and more complex systems like that. But I hope that this feels like a really approachable place to start thinking about reinforcement, because if you are going to have a successful time implementing a structured work schedule, an academic schedule as we go into e-learning, it's really, really critical that you are thinking about reinforcement, because none of us work for free, and our children won't either. So we need to make sure that we're reinforcing them for their work. So I hope that that's helpful for you. I'd love to hear what you want to be trained in. And so I've got a little link right over here for you. Let's see if I can point in the correct direction. Over there, it's tinyurl.com/TTYEAML. It's a 3-question survey. It'll take a minute and a half maybe. Just let me know who you are, what you want to be trained on, how long you have for videos. We've really been focusing on short videos because we know that parents are really crunched for time right now with all the new roles that they're playing. But some topics just can't be squeezed into a 10-minute video, and so we may start releasing some longer ones, 30, 40 minutes, an hour maybe. And so I really want to know what you all are able to watch in your day, what's going to work for you. So please go to that link, complete that survey, let me know what you think, and we will see you next time.